Alright guys, so first job of the day today is going to be an intake manifold. Customer replaced this one not too long ago, but apparently it's bad again. So we're gonna put a new intake manifold on it. So we're gonna start off by clamping down the water hose. Take the intake manifold, take the throttle body off, and then start working our fuel rails and all that stuff. So yeah, let me get to it, and then let me start taking some things apart. And I believe we gotta take the alternator off. We'll see once we come down to it. Alright, let me get started. Alright guys, so we have taken a few things out. We took out the throttle body, all the plug, hoses, EGR. So pretty self-explanatory, but let me see if I can walk you guys through. So that sits right there. Okay. On your intake, you got the clamp here, clamp there, this guy on the bottom of it, and then it hooks up to. It has this guy, and it hooks up over here. So remove that hose. You also have this hose that goes there, this hose that goes here. Here in the front, you got a hose that goes here, and this guy goes there. Let's see, throttle body wise, you got the cables right here. It has some bolts that hold it to the bracket. Kind of sits like this. Has a bolt here. This one has another bolt. Take those bolts out. You unplug your wires. Got this plug here and this one. Unplug your wires. You take the 4 bolts out of it. You got to take the EGR out. Has 2 bolts. Then you kind of pry it a little bit to the side, and then you can take this guy out. Then after that, you got this bracket, which is a throttle body bracket. Kind of sits like this. Has 2 bolts here, and it has 1 bolt here. All this little hoses thing. Take that out of the way. You get your cables out of the way. You kind of pull this a little bit to get it out of the way. And then there's 2 hoses. So now, you gotta take the alternator out to make clearance, because if you can see that belly, it's not gonna clear when the alternator is in to be able to get it out. So alternator, just removing the tension on the belt right there, and then you just loosen up these 2 bolts on the bottom, this one and this one, a little bit. It has a bracket here on top, which is this one right here. It has 4 bolts. Take the bracket off. You take the plug out. Pretty straightforward. You just take it off and put it here in the center. And from now, basically what we gotta do is disconnect the fuel lines and start this taking the coils out, unplugging the injectors out, taking the coils and injectors out of the way. We still gotta take this hose out. I'm gonna put a clamp on it so it doesn't spill that much of water. Take that out of the way, and then we can start getting to the bolts on the manifold itself to be able to get it out. and then we just gotta swap the injectors and all that stuff over to the new manifold. But yeah, let me get a few lines out, and those are gonna be those quick connects that you put in the line. Do it with one hand, but you put it on the line, you stick it in there, you push the line in, and then you pull out, and then we'll disconnect. So yeah, let me unhook that, take the coils out, and unplug the injectors, and start getting to the studs on the manifold itself to be able to get it out. Alrighty. Alright guys, so now we got these holes here. Okay, that clamp. I took all the wires off. All the coils are out. I clamped down this other hose. We got all the coils and plugs unhooked. So now I just gotta start getting the manifold out. So I gotta get to the bolts of the manifold to get them out, to be able to pull it out. So let me just get to the manifold bolts, and we should be able to slide this guy out. Alrighty, we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we got all the bolts of the manifold out. All of those bolts there. The one over here on the back is the one that is a little bit more pain in the neck, so you have to get it from here, from the inside of this. And then you got the ones there, and then one up there. So pretty much everything's already loose, ready to take out. So should be able to just use a little prior, and then it should come loose, and then we should be able to get it out. So yeah, let me do that real quick, and then let me get the new manifold so we can start swapping things around and clean up, and then start putting this guy back together. Alright, let me do that real quick. Alright guys, so we got the old one out. We changed the injectors already. We still gotta put in the new plug, the thermostat, and the sensor over. But I'm gonna do that once it's in the car. I already, customers wanted to put new plugs, so we got all new motorcraft plugs in there. I already vacuumed and cleaned out with the wire wheel where the gasket sits, so that's taken care of. So now we just gotta put the new manifold in, tighten it down, and then start assembling everything back together. Alright, so let me to do that, let me put that in and start tying everything back up again. Alright, keep it posted. Alright guys, so let's see what we got done. We got the bolts down, we got the injectors plugged in. They all needed to be zip tied down because they were all broken, and they had zip ties before I even started the job. So that's that. Now I put the ignition coils on, but they're not tying down yet, just because there's a coil that is bad. So the customer wants me to change that coil out, so I need to find out which one it is. So yeah, I just got everything plugged back in. We got the hose back in. We got the back hose, that one there, put back in. The fuel lines are clicked back in. So now I'm gonna start putting the throttle body back in, and still gotta do the sensor and the plug here and the alternator. Still gotta put it back in. So pretty much it's just a matter of bolting down all these little things for the throttle body, and we should be good to have some antifreeze on it and start it up here in a second. So yeah, let me get to putting the throttle body back in, and all the little hoses and bolts and whatnot. So yeah, be right back. Alright guys, so we got pretty much everything bolted back together. The alternator, the bracket, the cable, throttle body, everything is back where it's supposed to be. all the sensors, all the brackets, everything is back on. I still haven't tightened down the coils because we gotta find out where it's leaking from, where it's misfiring at. But pretty much everything's back together except this guy, just in case I have to remove it. I should be able to just remove it pretty easily. So yeah, let me get the key, let me get her started up. I gotta add some antifreeze to it, and we should be able to fire it up and find the back coil. Swap it, tighten all the coils down, and job done. So yeah, let me figure that out real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, she's ready to go. Tapped it off. Now I just noticed that the cable over here is not making any contact, so I gotta tell the customer so we can fix that. And everything there is just put back together. She should be ready to get on the road. So yeah, again, another job done, and now we gotta move to get some tires installed on another customer. Alright guys, like always, share, like, subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Later.